Please be seated. Welcome everyone to this council meeting. May I ask that all mobile phones are switched silent. There is no planned test of the fire alarm system during this meeting, so if the alarm sounds, please exit the building quickly and safely via the main route. If this route is blocked, please use the fire exits in this room. Do not use the lifts. Once outside the building, please assemble in the market square. Do not re-enter the building until the committee clerk has given authorisation. May I draw your attention to the notice in the room regarding recording and the use of social media. The council permits audio and or visual recording and photography at council meetings. Proceedings of this meeting may also be reported via social media. If a member of the public or press wishes to do so, could they indicate now? Thank you. This is a council meeting which is open to the public to watch, but they are not able to actively participate in. Quiet, thank you. If any member wishes to raise a point of order, can you please stand and clearly state order so we can distinguish them from a member who has raised their hand to indicate they wish to speak in the debate. You will need to state the relevant rule which you take issue with and set out the point clearly. As chair, I may ask for the opinion of the monitoring officer before making a decision on how to proceed. Agenda item number 1 is apologies. Are there any apologies?
Yes, Chair, we have apologies from Councillors Ducey, Debbie Merriweather, Fraser Merriweather, Pashley, Lynn Dixon, Sanders, Entwistle, White, Manners and Pashley.
Thank you. Agenda item number 2 is to receive declarations of interest by members and officers. Are there any declarations of interest by members? Are there any declarations of interest by officers? Thank you. Agenda item number 3 is motions. This extraordinary meeting has been called in accordance with part 4.1 of the Council Constitution. Consider the motion. I call upon Councillor McFarland to propose the motion.
Thank you and good evening. Chairman, fellow councillors and most importantly the residents of Bassetlaw, thank you for being here tonight and thank you to the many residents who've taken the time to write to us, speak with us and share their real concerns about the rapid spread of HMOs across our communities. This motion tonight is simple in principle but significant in impact. We're calling for a full review of our planning policy and licensing related to HMOs with a view to introducing tighter controls, stronger monitoring and crucially genuine consultation with the people who live next door, on the same street and in the same communities. I'd like to start by making a very clear ask. This should not be and must not be a party political issue. This is about the quality of life of our residents, families, older people and young people alike. So tonight I'm asking for cross-party support to move beyond political labels and do what's right for Bassetlaw. The rationale behind this motion is clear. We've all seen the problems that come with the number of HMOs in the areas, grows unchecked, parking pressure on streets that were never designed for it, rubbish and waste collection issues impacting neighbours, noise and antisocial behaviour concerns, and fundamentally a shift in the character of whole communities sometimes overnight. Yet, under current planning rules, many HMOs can be created without the need for planning permission, especially for those with up to 6 unrelated occupants. But there is a mechanism that councils can use. Under the Town and Country Act of 1990, local authorities can implement an Article 4 direction to remove permitted development rights for converting single owns into HMOs. This means plan permission would then be required, giving local residents and councillors a proper say. Other councils across the country have already done this. Bassetlaw could and should join them. If we pass this motion tonight, we will start the process properly, gathering evidence, consulting with the public and working towards policies that actually protect neighbourhoods, instead of sitting on our hands while the situation worsens. Now let's talk why we got here. The council recently spent months, years in fact, reviewing and passing its local plan. This was the exact moment when proper consideration of HMOs should have been built in. Stronger policies, clearer limits, more robust consultation. But what happened? Under the watch of Joe White, who was the cabinet member responsible, the issue was quietly brushed aside. That's why we're here tonight. We have a real chance to put things right, to strengthen local democracy, to protect the character of our communities, and send a message that Bassetlaw will listen to its residents. Let's do this together. Let's do it for the people who live here, and for future generations who deserve to grow up in balanced, sustainable, thriving neighbourhoods. Thank you.
Can I ask you to take your placards down, please? It's not allowed in the council. Thank you. I call upon Councillor Simon Richardson to second the motion.
Hello everyone, my name is Simon Richardson and I'm the councillor for Rampton Ward. Before we get going, I would like to second this motion. Welcome to all the residents who attended to lend their support this evening. Chairman, fellow members, no to HMO, that's the message behind this motion, and it's one we can all support. This motion isn't about banning HMOs or vilifying shared accommodation. We just need to ensure houses of multiple occupancy remain located in the right places. Let's be frank, when family homes are turned into HMOs without planning oversight, we see the same impacts again and again. There is a clear risk here of antisocial behaviour, fly tipping, parking pressures, and a lack of community cohesion. Once that balance is lost, it's incredibly difficult for us to restore. I would like at this point to publicly thank Joe White, our MP, who is, and I quote, very concerned about HMOs in Bassetlaw. I, for one, have signed your petition and share your concerns. I also share the concerns of all 1,000 plus residents who have signed a petition. Without labouring this point, we need to go even further. We must firstly consider the impact HMOs have on community cohesion. Strong neighbourhoods rely on long-term residents, people who invest in their streets, schools and services. When too many homes become short-term multi-tenant lets, those ties begin to unravel. We also need to confront an increasingly important factor. I call it the elephant in the room. The use of HMOs by national contractors such as Serco to house asylum seekers under government dispersal schemes is a threat to our neighbourhoods. This is not about the individuals, many of whom are in different, difficult and uncertain situations. This is about the process. Private landlords can convert homes into HMOs and enter into contracts with Serco and house multiple residents without planning permission, without notifying the local authority and with little input from the local community. This raises several serious concerns. It bypasses our planning system, it erodes local accountability, and it places additional strain on public services. These include GPs, schools, policing, refuse collection, often without the resources to respond. We've seen this happen in other towns. We now need to tighten controls not to block housing, but to ensure it is delivered responsibly, transparently, and with public support. Meanwhile, we're also facing a housing affordability crisis. Rents are up 10%, now averaging £705 a month. First-time buyers are being squeezed out, and we risk family homes being lost to speculative HMO conversions. While there is a place for HMOs to provide affordable housing, they need to be carefully legislated. Fundamentally, this is why an Article 4 direction was introduced, but we still need to go further. This motion is about applying that same logic across our district. While Bassetlaw has existing controls and recognition of HMO clustering risks, there remains a gap in transparent ward-level HMO data. Information is vital to justify extending Article 4 beyond the worksite. We need to understand where HMOs are forming, how conscious they are becoming, and what the local effects truly are. This isn't anti-HMO, it's pro-standards, pro-local accountability, pro-community. Chairman, I urge colleagues across this chamber to support the motion using the legislation available to us. With this motion, there is clear policy alignment between housing quality and planning oversight. This strengthens the case to support Article 4 direction, and I urge everybody in this chamber to support it. Councillors, I reserve my right to reply.
Are there any comments or observations from Bassetlaw District Council members? Councillor Lee?
Thank you, Chair. I would like to propose an amendment to this motion. I would like my speech minuting, please, and I reserve my right to speak. Thank you. I have got copies of the amendment for not just councillors, but for people in the room.
Yeah, just wait a second, yeah. Thank you. Thank you. Call upon Councillor Lee.
Thank you, Chair. As you're aware, I just had a discussion with colleagues on the opposite bench, and we've agreed one minor amendment, which is that instead of saying we'll work with Joe White MP, we're saying we'll work with our MPs. I'm happy for people who've got a copy of the amendment. I'm happy for people to read that and make comments, and I will submit at the end. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you. Is there any second?
Can't hear what she's saying. Very important communication, that one.
Right, can you hear me at the back? Right, okay, so what's happened is it's been agreed between all parties that there'll be a slight change to the paper that's been circulated. To replace where it says Joe White MP, it will say our MPs. So the intention is to include both of the MPs that cover the district. That's the change that's been agreed between the parties.
Order, please. Thank you. Second that motion. Second that amendment, please.
Yes, Mr. Chairman. I'd like to second the motion and also reserve my right to speak.
Thank you. Monitoring officer, is it a valid amendment?
Yes, Chair, it is a valid amendment.
Are there any comments or observations on the amendment? Councillor Henderson?
Chair, I need to declare an interest. I'm employed by Joe White. So I'm happy to leave the room or not take part in the vote on the amendment.
As it's a matter, this is a meeting for which the public are able to attend, you're able to stay in the room but just not participate in the debate or vote on the item.
Councillor Paul?
Am I allowed to speak on the amendment, Chair? Thank you. Can I thank the Leader of Council for this amendment? I think it's very comprehensive and covers a lot of points that perhaps weren't necessarily covered in the original motion. It's apparent that much of what the original motion seeks to achieve is already work in progress within the Council. The amendment shows that there are 6 comprehensive action points which are already taking place. HMOs are a great British tradition dating back through generations in various guises. Lodgings, boarding houses, bed-sits, all go back years. The modern equivalent is the HMO, and they're all a vital part of our housing mix. For many years, those have been essential for housing seasonal workers, those working away from home, students, and those with limited income or facing temporary changes in their circumstances, and perhaps multiple choices. Those of us who have been around the block a few times know that we're only 2 or 3 life events away from homelessness. We can lose our jobs, face bankruptcy, bereavement, illness, split relationships, any number of things in life, but not always within our control. Any of us might need some relatively cheap, hopefully temporary accommodation. HMOs might be the only option, and probably wouldn't necessarily be our first choice. The amendment looks to address local concerns about the locations of HMOs and work within the existing legislation to ensure specific areas are not negatively impacted. It's also vital that we, as a caring council, ensure that the standards of accommodation provided is adequate. We should ensure that landlords provide decent living standards. This impacts those living in the HMOs, but also the wider community. But we do have to continue to ensure HMOs exist as part of a balanced housing mix. The amendment seeks to achieve this. I support the amendment, Chair. Thank you.
Any further comments? Quiet, please. Quiet, please. Thank you. We will now vote on it. Oh, sorry. Let me just check it in. Do you want to?
Thank you, Chair. In terms of what the motion says, I fully support the amended motion because I think it actually improves what the original motion set out. I believe HMOs, as my colleague Councillor Paul said, do have a role in our mixed economy, but the number needs to be proportional to the local community. As a council, we will endeavour to use all the tools at our disposal to ensure that we have proper oversight, where I believe the issue is with the governance of the HMOs and not with the tenants who live in them. So therefore, I fully support the amended motion. Thank you.
Thank you. Anybody else? Thank you. We will now vote. Oh, come on, Stuart. Sorry, Councillor, someone.
Chair. I don't normally shout. Can everybody hear me at the back? Excellent. Yeah, thumbs up, thank you. Thank you to everyone who's spoken. All of the residents that are here tonight, thank you for coming. We regularly have full council meetings and we very rarely have residents here, and it would be great to see you as often as you can come, because we are talking about what's happening to you, so you're very welcome. I think before I start talking, everybody in the room will be pleased to hear that not only does this council already support Article 4s, I believe that all of the councillors in here support Article 4s. So whilst you're here boiling to death, because we don't have aircon in any of the buildings in the council, what you're here for we're already doing, and we're going to continue doing. So I really welcome this opportunity to have this debate about HMOs in this public forum, and I'd like to explain some of the ways in which the council is managing HMOs in the district. Firstly, we already impose Article 4s. Now there is a legal background to that, so we can't use an Article 4 unless we have the evidence to say that it's necessary, and I'll talk to you a bit more about what we're going to do to get that. We've already done one in Worksop Town Centre, as you've heard. Unfortunately, if opposition members had looked, you'd have seen that there is an Article 4 directive already on the Council's forward plan. The members who are on the scrutiny committee or who read the committee papers, which are available to all members, will also be aware that this has already been to pre-scrutiny ahead of the next cabinet meeting in September. I would rather us have had this meeting as a matter of course rather than an extraordinary council meeting, because that costs money and it's your hard-earned money that it costs. So we are already doing this. So to do this as a matter of course.
Thank you.
To do this as a matter of course, because we're already doing it, that's the important thing, not to wait until we get to a meeting like this. It has to be started, well, months ago. In terms of the discussion here, I have said, as leader of the council, to many members individually, and also when I've spoken here in full council, that we're a district council. We're not adversaries across a parliamentary floor. I believe that one of Bassetlaw district councillors, I believe that all of Bassetlaw district councillors except one actually live here in Bassetlaw. And I think that we as district councillors, what we should be doing is making a positive difference to the people here in Bassetlaw, not playing games and attacking each other. In Bassetlaw, HMOs are a very small but important part of the housing mix. From our current relevant data, we understand that HMOs make up less than 0.3% of all homes through the entirety of Bassetlaw. It must be recognised that HMOs are essential in terms of providing a sufficient. If you want to talk to me afterwards, I'll be here. Not everyone can afford to rent a whole property or buy their own home. Without HMOs, many of our residents would not have a home at all. These can include...
What about those being evicted under Section 21?
Quiet, please. Thank you.
I'll talk about HMOs because
I would like to give a warning that whilst the public is more than welcome to attend meetings to listen to the proceedings, it is not appropriate for them to disrupt the meeting. I will
The meeting was supposed to be able to have our own say as well.
I will therefore only ask for order once more, and if there is a third disruption, I will adjourn the meeting while the public is clear. Thank you.
Disgrace. Absolute disgrace. Absolute disgrace.
You are, you don't even know people.
Absolute shame on you all. Shame on you all. We're here about immigrants. That's what it said on the letters. We're here about the immigration. No, I don't want to crash you. Everybody sit down to want to sleep.
When they give us a voice, we'll stand and listen to your side of it. Until then, we want our say.
Can I just correct you on something?
There's some seats down at front if you'd like to sit down.
Please sit down, there are plenty of seats now.
Hurry up, Julia.
I understand that some people want to talk about something other than HMOs, but the motion was brought by councillors solely about HMOs, and council rules say that I can't talk about other things. I can only talk about what the motion is about. So, as I said, HMOs in Bassetlaw are about 0.3% of our housing stock. Not everyone can afford to rent a whole property or buy their own home. And without HMOs, many of our residents, our friends, our neighbours, our relatives, would have to buy their own home or rent a whole house, and they can't afford it. And those people who live in HMOs include young people who've recently left care, people who've moved into work, students, couples who've split up, and people whose financial resources mean that they cannot afford to rent or buy a whole property. We already recognise that all HMOs need to be managed in the same way, and we are already taking steps to do this. Members need only to have read relevant papers or have spoken with myself or council officers to know that this is the case. Many actions have already been agreed prior to tonight, as is detailed in the amendment that I put forward and hopefully you've got a copy of. In terms of managing HMO development, we believe that this is an essential part of managing the whole of our area. The council has a number of powers. Legally, these tools cannot be used to create a blanket ban to stop all future HMOs. That is just not allowed, and it doesn't happen anywhere in the country because it's not allowed. The powers that we can use include Article 4 directives, Policy 31 of the local plan, HMO supplementary planning documents, Bassetlaw Design Code supplementary planning documents, the Housing Economic Needs Assessment, which is also known as HEDNA, and the local plan review. I had wanted to explain all those to you, but I only have 5 minutes to speak, so I've got a document that outlines what they all are, and you can have a copy of that as you leave. In terms of Article 4 directives, we did impose one in Worksop in June 2020, and that was to remove the ability to convert dwellings into small HMOs without planning permission. There has not been a consequent significant decrease in applications. Some HMO applications have been denied by Bassetlaw Planning Committee, but were granted on appeal by the inspectors. And that results in a financial cost to the council, because if we deny planning on anything and then it is appealed and then goes to the directorate, if we lose, then we have to pay your money, your council tax, as a fine and for legal costs. It's clear that we need detailed evidence to impose an Article 4 directive and new evidence gathering. All of this has already been planned for by Bassetlaw District Council, and anybody could have seen that looking at the papers. So, Chair, I support the enhanced motion which is before the Council today, and trust that every member will vote for it, so that we all agree to manage HMOs in the most appropriate way in Bassetlaw. Thank you, Chair.
We are now on accepting the amendment to the motion.
Name vote, Chair. Name vote.
So,
Yeah.
yeah. Thank you.
This is to accept the amendment, not to approve the amendment. Do you want to record the vote on just accepting the amendment? Okay, so this is...
Yeah.
So we are now voting on if the amendment becomes substantive motions, it's not a final vote for the council tonight, just to clarify. So we clarify we don't want to record a vote on this element.
Okay.
We will now vote on accepting the amendment to the motion. All in favour? Against? Any abstentions? Carried.
That has now become the substantive motion for the council which is on the screen.
Does anybody else want to comment on the motion? No? Oh, yeah.
Chairman, councillors and residents, thank you all for being here this evening, and thank you to everyone who's raised concerns about HMOs in our communities. This motion asks for a full review of our HMO rules so we can bring in tighter controls and give residents a voice. It's not about politics, it's about protecting the quality of life, and we've asked for support across the council. We've all seen the issues with parking, rubbish and noise, and communities are changing almost overnight. Other councils have implemented this. Bassetlaw are doing so too. Hopefully we can fix what the local plan missed and act before it gets worse. Thank you very much.
Hello, I'm Warren Limber. I'm a councillor for Beckenham and Walkingham. Chair, councillors, members of the public, thank you for allowing me to speak today. I want to raise growing concerns about the spread of small houses in multiple occupations across Bassetlaw and the lack of planning controls currently in place to manage them. HMOs can play a useful role in providing affordable housing, particularly for young people and key workers, but without proper oversight, especially the smaller HMOs housing 3 to 6 unrelated people, there are serious risks to our communities, housing standards and local infrastructure. At present, landlords can convert homes into small HMOs without needing planning permission unless the council has put in place Article 4 direction. Sadly, Bassetlaw does not yet have this safeguard. The impact on communities, residents across the district are seeing streets change character. Family homes being converted into short-term rental properties, often leading to more noise, cars, and in some cases antisocial behaviour. It affects the sense of neighbourhood and stability. Health and safety concerns, without planning scrutiny, we can't be sure that these homes meet safe living standards, things like fire safety, waste disposal, overcrowding, and we risk creating poor housing standards for tenants and those that live nearby. The strain on local services, more people in single property, increased pressures on waste collection, parking, GPs and schools, yet we've got no opportunity to assess or manage that pressure under current rules. Lack of accountability. Because no planning application is required, there's no consultation. Neighbours and the wider community don't even get a chance to raise concerns or suggest conditions, and it undermines transparency and local democracy. I'd also like to mention areas like Walkingham and Beckenham, where there's no large HMOs currently registered. However, small HMOs may already exist we don't know about. And as we look to the future, step fusion development will be going in the area, which will bring in a significant workforce, means they may soon the great demand for temporary housing in rural parts of Bassetlaw. We must plan now before we're forced to react later, and that's why I'm asking Bassetlaw District Council to consider introducing the Article 4 direction. It wouldn't ban small HMOs, it simply means landlords need to apply for planning permission and give the council and community saying whether the proposed conversion is suitable. Planning control isn't about stopping change, it's about ensuring change happens safely, fairly and in the right places for residents, landlords and the long-term good of Bassetlaw. Thank you.
Councillor Lee, do you wish to sum
I don't think I need to sum up, Chair, because we are all saying the same thing. We are all saying that we will use the powers that planning already have to manage the use of HMOs, and all councillors have agreed to that already. So there's no discussion really needed about that because we've all agreed it. And that's what we should do as Bassetlaw District Councillors. We should be here doing what's best for the residents.
We're now going to vote.
Name vote, Chair. To start, can I have a name vote?
Recorded vote. You're in Bassetlaw. All of the constitution, the original proposer had the right to speak at the end to someone.
The motion's been amended, so Councillor Lee becomes the proposer. It is her motion that we are now voting on your motion to follow.
So can I speak again on the amendment? So it's the amendment.
Now missed that part of the meeting, we moved on to the meeting. Councillor Lee's just summed up. She's got the right of that, so asking Councillor Lee to sum up. It's the chair's discretion.
Recorded vote.
Moving to vote. Recording vote.
Recorded vote.
Thank you.
Councillor Adams.
Just a minute, Tom.
Sorry.
Thank you. As the March officer made clear in both meetings, if we are to use recorded vote, and it is a motion, an order of motion, can the police state part of the Constitution that it is in the place?
Recorded votes are rule 22.4. Can you please confirm that you have 7 members that support the recorded vote?
Chair.
That's my answer.
Councillor Adams.
4.
Councillor Bowker. Councillor Brand.
4.
Councillor Carrington Wild.
4.
Councillor Carroll.
4.
Councillor Challoner.
4.
Councillor Charlesworth.
4.
Councillor Digby.
4.
Councillor Dinsdale.
4.
Councillor Eaton.
4.
Councillor Evans.
4.
Councillor Fielding.
4.
Councillor Freeman.
4.
Councillor Griffin.
4.
Councillor Horrocks.
4.
Councillor Lee.
4.
Councillor Limber.
4.
Councillor McCallum.
4.
Councillor McFarland.
4.
Councillor Naylor. Councillor Oxby.
4.
Councillor Pidwell.
4.
Councillor Potts.
4.
Councillor Presley.
4.
Councillor Polk.
4.
Councillor Rhodes.
4.
Councillor Richardson.
4.
Sorry, yes, I do apologise. Councillor Madeline Richardson.
Not me.
Yeah. Councillor Simon Richardson.
4.
Councillor Sanders, Neil Sanders.
4.
Councillor Schuler.
4.
Councillor Scothorne.
4.
Councillor Shaw.
4.
Councillor Shepherd.
4.
Councillor Slater.
4.
Councillor Stannard.
4.
Councillor Tyndall.
4.
Councillor Troop.
4.
Councillor Turner.
It's unanimous. That's carried. Thank you. other business which the Chair considers to be urgent. There is no other business. I close the meeting and I thank you for attending.